Hey besties, it is mid-January, and if you set New Year's goals, statistically chances are that you have already fallen off the wagon. Here is exactly why you're failing and I have not yet. My name is Jade and I help women stop playing small and start showing up, whether that's online, in their habits, in motherhood, in their social spaces, and create and build a life that actually feels aligned. Okay, so here's what happens every single January. You set the goal, you feel motivated, and then life happens. You miss one day, then you miss two, and then you are back to your old patterns by February. The problem isn't your goals. It is that simply you do not have a system in place to help you track them, audit them, and adjust them to fit your lifestyle. Okay, so enter the Google Calendar, what all of you came here for. Before you roll your eyes, this isn't just a Google Calendar. This is literally my entire life system. As you can see, I have so many different calendars on here, all color coordinated. Why? So I can actually audit exactly where my time is going and make sure that it feels really aligned with the person that I want to be and the person I want to show up as. So by the end of this video, I want you to walk away with tangible things to do so that you can implement this system to your own life and you can create a Google Calendar that helps you stay on track with your goals, your habits as well. Okay, let's get into it. The first point of business is everything goes into the calendar, not just meetings. I schedule my workouts. I schedule my content creation time. I schedule posting on social media. I schedule journaling. I schedule family time. And then of course, all the work stuff as well. If it matters, it gets a time block. And then here's the key. If it takes 30 minutes or less, then I actually use the tasks instead of a time block. And we can talk about that in a little bit. The next thing is every single thing is color coordinated. First of all, it just makes me so happy to do this. I don't know if you know this. I hope I'm not the first person to tell you this, but you can create your own, you can put your own colors into your Google Calendar. So you can find a nice palette on Pinterest, one that brings you joy and makes you happy. And you can assign these colors to each of your calendars. Now, the really cool thing about this is each part of my life, each section of my life has a different color. And so visually, when I look back on my week, which we will talk about in a little bit, I can visually see where I'm spending my time. At the end of the week, I can also see if something's out of balance. Like, did I spend all my time working this week and not enough time with my kids? Did I pour into my marriage this week or was this week like Christmas vacation? Like, I don't know if so many of you have had, but it was like all kids, all fun, no work. You can really see where your time is being allocated. The third thing that you need to do is I need to check things off as I go. All right, so I have Google Calendar on my desktop, right? But I also have the Google Calendar app on my phone. I literally open that app probably 20 times a day. So as you can see right here, this is my last week's calendar. When I complete a task, I go in and I use the little check mark emoji to put in front of the words so I can visually see that that is checked off. I did it, I completed it. And then also, if something doesn't get done in a day, a really great thing about Google Calendar is you can slide it from one day to the next. Just push it to the next day. Aside from being incredibly satisfying to put that little check mark at the beginning of your time block, it also is a really great way for us to be able to see what got achieved and what didn't. And if something consistently is not getting achieved, why? It's really important that we know when we're going into creating the system that the Google Calendar is not about perfection. It's not about hitting every single thing, but it's really about bringing awareness, how much we can get done in a day. And also, like I've said a million times, where I'm spending my time, because time is our greatest asset. Okay, number 4, this is an absolute non-negotiable, and that is weekly and monthly audits. So every single Sunday, I have my bedtime tea. I lay in bed. I set up my calendar for the week. And we look back at the last week and we see what worked, what didn't, and why. So as we go through, I can see what tasks got completed, because any task you can just do mark completed, a little line goes through them. I can see how efficient I was in the week, but also I get to see those little check marks. So I get to see what has worked and what doesn't. For instance, if you have journaling in your Google Calendar, but you only did it one time and you wanted to do it every single day, For me personally, I have it in my morning time slot. So maybe that's telling me that I need to move it to another time. I'm not setting myself up for success. Maybe it needs to be done during lunch, or maybe while I'm in bed at the end of the night. And then every single month I go back and I do a bigger picture of what's working and what's not. And also I can stay on track of what was working in my habits. Was I working out every day? You could even see how many days a week did I work out this month? Or for me personally, right now, I am doing 2 miles every single day. That's my goal. And so I can look back and be like, oh, okay, like I skipped 1 or 2 days. Oh, we had birthday parties and all that different kind of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, like I did walk, 58 miles or something like that. Like it's a really cool way for you to be able to look back and see exactly where you spent your time and to change it as needed for the next month. Okay, so here is why the system works when goals don't work alone. For me personally, I believe that you cannot manage what you cannot measure. The calendar forces me to see exactly where my time is being spent. Because a lot of times I think I have an idea of where my time goes, and realistically, that's just not the truth. It also removes a ton of guilt. I can look back in my week and see how productive I've been or how much I've actually gotten done. And if I didn't do something, I can see why. I can easily see like, oh, I clearly overcommitted myself. I didn't give myself any white space in this day or in this week. Maybe the time slot was wrong. The data helps me fix the system, not beat the system. I mean, moral of the story, it really just keeps me aligned with being the highest version of myself, which I think as we're stepping into a new year, this is a really good time for you to do a life audit and see if you're spending your time where you want to, or if you're pouring into yourself the way that you want to. If you are, when you visualize like the absolute highest version of yourself and what their day looks like, are you doing any of those things? My challenge to you is that you stop magically hoping that all of a sudden you're just going to be consistent, but instead you start to create habits and build a system instead that works for you and your life. You don't need this exact setup, but you do need a system that's going to help you track what needs to be tracked and helps you audit what's working and what's not. So if this content was interesting for you and you see this next year, you stepping into your highest version of yourself, not only in your day-to-day life, but maybe as a mom or maybe on social media, whatever that might look like, make sure to click follow and follow along for more videos like this.